In the last lecture, I asked you to complete the daily start header. You may have felt there wasn't adequate instruction. That was on purpose. One of the goals of this process is to force you into new critical thinking patterns where you're questioning and exploring cause, effect, meaning, and context. Trying to complete the header on your own probably generated a few questions. I hope to answer most of those in this video. Now let's go through the header in some detail. The day and date don't really need any explanation. Next we see a title, routine. This block is where you'll track progress on your habit routine. It can be completed by entering a check mark for success, or an X if you skip the routine, or a P for partial, and you can make a note about what parts were omitted. We'll cover habits in much greater detail in a future video. Next we have the rating. You need to write a number between 1 and 10, and this should be done at the beginning of the day when there's still time for a course correction. If you start the day in a crappy mood and then make an assessment at the end of the day and conclude it was in fact a crappy day, well, that's not really accomplishing anything. The number you enter here points to your state of mind, and the subsequent questions you'll explore on this page is where you'll learn how to make corrections while the day is still young. Remember, a 1 is your lowest rating. Let's say you just got served with divorce papers, your dog was run over by a UPS truck, and you lost your job. Now that's a bad day. A ranking of 10 is the best. You just got a promotion, maybe you ran your first marathon, got your publisher to accept your manuscript, or maybe you got your 10,000th subscriber. As you can see, the ratings all start with external events, but we filter and interpret them and turn them into emotions and a state of mind. Sometimes the process is obvious. You lost your job, crappy day. Perhaps, but what if you're on the verge of quitting anyway because your side hustle is starting to earn just as much money? The context of the event and our interpretation determines if it is a 1 or a 10. Sometimes we jump to conclusions about something being good or bad. But in the long run, do we really know? You may have heard of the parable of the Chinese farmer. Once there was a Chinese farmer who worked his farm together with his son and their horse. The horse ran off one day. Neighbors came to say, "How sad." The farmer replied, "Maybe yes, maybe no." When the horse returned, followed by a herd of wild horses, the neighbors gathered around to say, "What good fortune." The farmer stayed calm and said, "Maybe yes, maybe no." While trying to tame one of those wild horses, the farmer's son fell and broke his leg and could no longer help with the chores. "How sad," the neighbor said. "Maybe yes, maybe no," said the farmer. Shortly after, a neighboring army threatened the farmer's village. All the young men were drafted to fight the invaders. Many died. But the farmer's son had been left out of the fighting because of his broken leg. Neighbor said to the farmer, "What good fortune?" Maybe yes, maybe no. The moral: we're all living through the ups and downs of our lives, and we don't really have the benefit of a long-term view. It's best not to overreact and jump to conclusions about any single event. Each day I want you to rate your state. If you're thinking, this is entirely subjective, what's the point? Well, hell yes, it's subjective. If you've ever been to a pain management doctor, the first question is, on a scale of 1 to 10, where are you at? Well, that's about as subjective as you can get, but it's also extremely valuable. It tells the doctor how much this condition is affecting your normal way of life. In the same way, your rating on this sheet tells you how much your current state is affecting your ability to be productive. Now, if you feel this question is irrelevant because the only thing that exists is the eternal now, and you've already removed yourself from all desire, well then you're obviously a monk, and I don't even know why you're watching this. For the rest of us, go ahead and put a number in your header each day.